Anyways, chat. Yeah, it is what it is, you know. Hey man, you gotta blame new chatters when they like to ruin stuff, you know. So that's why I keep everything super tied up, locked up. So apparently Pokimane is in the news again. I feel like anything that has to do with streaming always has to revolve with Pokimane for some apparent reason. What did she do this time? What did she do?
Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome
What
back
happened?
to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at an interesting quote here. It stirred up a lot of online discussion. A lot of people have been taking this kind of negatively because to most people, when Pokimane says this, it just kind of comes
Oh yeah,
off
I
as,
remember
like,
that
kind
too
of
as well.
about the
Yeah.
fact that apparently streaming is quote-unquote male-dominated. Now, it's actually kind of funny because, I mean, I think this is a conclusion anyone...
Well, it's because it's video games, you know. It's always been a male dominant space. What are you talking about? That's just how it's always been, because video games, they stream video games.
One could come to, the fact that streaming and like Twitch or whatever are apparently male-dominated platforms, and this is probably the most obvious thing you could point out. So when it even is really pointed out, since it's such an obvious fact of nature that really doesn't actually affect anything, it just comes across as like you being salty.
This campaign was really good. I like the story for this
campaign.
campaign.
About it for whatever reason. So like I said, a lot of the takes on this one have been pretty negative from a lot of people. So Pokimane claims that streaming has become, in the last few years, a lot more male-dominated, I guess, for two big examples of how...
The last few years? Male hot tub streams go crazy? Do they? Do they actually go that crazy? Damn, I never even knew about that.
How males have apparently dominated streaming are Cenat and Speed, who granted are probably the two biggest streamers in the entire game right now, like at least that I can think of. Maybe there's like a Spanish streamer or something like that, or a VTuber that I'm not aware of that's just blowing their numbers out of the water, but I don't think there's
a popular male VTuber streamer right now at the moment that's like at the top, what is it, the top 10 ranks or so? I don't think so. But yeah, I know that Cenat and Speed is because like well, number one, right, they kind of cater to like the new generation, you know. So I think Pokimane is just mad that, like, you know, that Cenat and Speed is like taking away her simps, you know. That's probably the reason why. It's plus they're like enjoyable at the end of, like, I don't watch them, right, personally. Like, they're not my type of content creator, right, because Speed is kind of loud and kind of, you know, he's kind of loud and kind of a little bit obnoxious, but that's just my personal opinion. I don't hate the dude, right? It's just the type, that the persona that he plays. That's just the only thing. That's just my personal opinion. Cenat, not really my cup of tea personally, right? Like, just not my cup of tea of content creators at the end of the day. I'm just not really a fan of like the super loud, super crazy, super hyper energetic, you know, types of streamers. It's not really my cup of tea. It feels like it tires me out pretty quickly to listen to them, you know. Same thing with VTubers as well.
I think it's an interesting discussion to have nonetheless, because this is something that, if you look at it on the surface level, if you're one of these people who thinks that there has to be like equal representation in everything, right, you would look at this and be like, oh, well, this industry is way too dominated by males. We need more women in streaming and stuff like that. But I think to anybody really, you understand that that's just not ever going to be the reality probably of the situation. I really never see a world in which like there's the same amount of women to men playing video games, live streaming gaming on the internet, things like that. And the reality is just that these kinds of hobbies typically appeal more to males, especially younger males, than it does to their female counterparts. But before we go ahead and get further in the video, I do want to say,
that's very true.
On the channel, make sure you hit like and subscribe down below so you don't miss any more of my uploads in the future. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video. Pokimane, still the most followed female streamer on Twitch, has claimed that the streaming world has become increasingly male-dominated in the past couple of years, pointing...
But even then, it's like, did we just forget about like, Iron Mouse or something like that, you know? Iron Mouse, you know, surpassed Cenat, you know? I'm just saying.
to the success of Cenat and Speed. Cenat has quickly risen from a popular but niche streamer in 2021 to a bona fide superstar, striking ad deals with McDonald's and featuring A-list celebrities on his Twitch channel. And Speed is arguably the most popular streamer globally right now.
There's still people, okay? There's a person behind the model, okay? There's an actual real human being behind the model. Shaking my head right now, I swear.
Right now, traveling the world and attracting massive crowds in every city he visits. On the Colin and Samir podcast, Pokimane was asked about the rise of Kai and Speed and explained that while she loves their content and everything they do, she believes their success
I was
is
never real to
indicative
begin
of the
with. What are you talking
increasingly,
about?
quote, male-dominated demographic of viewers. Quote, as much as I think Kai and Speed are incredible and what they do is incredible, also when I think of them, I think of how much the audience has changed over the years as well.
I just said I
Quote,
wasn't
they're
real,
both, like,
stupid.
two young dudes who do like crazy wild things, and just from a data and
You're an
analytics
illusion? Yeah,
perspective,
I've
I
always
find
been
it
an
really
illusion. What are you
interesting to
talking
see
about?
who are the top streamers, their similarities, their differences, especially in terms of audiences.
Like a Fed would
Unfortunately,
say.
there aren't that many huge female streamers, at least not on Kai and Speed's level. So
What are you talking about? We had Iron Mouse. What are you saying? What are you talking? We have Iron Mouse, who's literally on the same level as Kai. What is Pokimane smoking? Oh my god, dude. I think it's those cookies, I swear. I think it's literally those cookies that are literally that literally got to Pokimane's head, to be honest.
I find this really interesting to claim that, like, from a quote-unquote analytical and a data-driven perspective, right, that you would find this interesting, because even like one Google search of just like looking up, for instance, the
You're not
Twitch
wrong.
gender,
You're actually
viewer
not wrong there,
demographics,
actually.
you'll notice that over time they have actually shifted more and more female. So this concept that, like, as a whole genre or whatever, streaming is just becoming more and more male dominated, it's not backed up by really any data whatsoever. Now, the quote-unquote evidence that they're gonna use here is just like circumstantial shit that can be explained like a million different ways. It's not in any way really indicative that apparently streaming is too male dominated, or it's just something that, like, oh, there's not that many huge female streamers out there, right? Now, like I said, there's probably always going to be more of a balance towards men in these kinds of industries, because like I said, a lot of this, it starts off early. You know, your careers start early. My career started when I was a child on YouTube. So for a lot of young boys, they just grow up caring more about video games and like doing YouTube and stuff than girls have. It's not like a knock on women or anything. It's just the reality of the situation. So it makes sense that there is more representation of males in general in this kind of—
I would have loved to enjoy starting you know, recording on YouTube and shit like that a long time ago. A lot younger. But like the problem is like I was poor, so I didn't have a, you know, recording capture software or anything like that. So
of industry, and it's really not even a bad thing.
Oh yeah, I
totally
would have done it a long time ago on YouTube.
To me, and I assume so many other people, it's really not about your gender. Like, I don't really give a fuck if you're male or female. If you're talented at your job, which in this instance would be like streaming or content creation, you will find a way to rise to the top, because that's what people who are good at content creation and streaming do. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, that inherent like driven instinct to continue and like work hard and succeed, it just exists in only certain people, regardless of that immutable characteristic or whatever. And there are a lot of like really huge female streamers out there. Pokimane is a really good
just play
example
video
of it.
games.
So like I said, she uses these two examples of Kai and Speed especially to be like, oh, this is how it's gotten and shifted more and more toward a male demographic.
Bro,
But
it's only like two guys who are just popular. What are you talking about, Pokimane? It's just only two dudes. Like, it's just only like literally she's just only pointing out like two guys that are like, you know, super mega popular. They're like the top 1%, you know?
But it really has nothing to do with like male versus female anything. It has to do everything with the content strategy that Cenat and Speed have.
They care.
First
They
and
cater
foremost,
towards the
both
Gen
of them
Z.
are highly charismatic, meaning that when people tune into their stream, they're always talking about something. They're talking to someone.
Yeah.
They're always playing something.
Yeah.
There's almost always something going on on their streams.
They cater,
Not only
you know,
that,
they cater
but they're
towards the
constantly
Gen
hanging
Z.
out with celebrities. You got Speed out here hanging out with fucking soccer superstars. You've got Cenat on stream with like a different platinum rapper every week.
Yeah.
He went to like the Grammys and was meeting rappers like backstage and shit. It all comes down to content strategy. I mean, I don't really think people are like, for instance,
I'm like Pokimane doesn't do any of that stuff either. So she doesn't hang out with like famous celebrities or anything like that, you know?
tuning into like a Cenat stream or an Speed stream simply because they're
That's
men
true.
or
For me
whatever.
personally, right? It's not my type of content, okay? Me preferably, not really my type of thing, so.
Right? It's because what they're doing on their streams is entertaining, it's drawing people in.
Yeah.
Their friends talk about how much they like these people's streams. And obviously,
Yeah, for me personally, I'm not that entertaining in my personal opinion, so.
I think Pokimane knows all of this. She's very good at her job too. She's one of the biggest streamers. But it's just kind of...
Yeah, but then Pokimane has some also controversies from time to time, you know. She's got her foot in the water too as well with issues in the past, you know.
An unnecessary point to make, to be like, oh, well, this is a male-dominated thing. And when you say that it's becoming more and more that way, that's just not true. There's no truth to
I'm just a shitty entertainer.
No analytical or like
that's
data-driven perspective that says that. It's really just like an anecdotal thing where I feel like it's more based on just vibes or whatever, but even then, I don't really understand how you could get that vibe when you've seen some of the shit that's been happening on Twitch over the last few years. But, quote, nowadays the audience, like, in a way, gone more to being a lot of, like, younger dudes, which is amazing, but I remember during 2020, I felt a much larger female presence, both in the audience and in regards to the streamers we were seeing growing and becoming more popular. Quote, who you see at the top can also, a lot of the time, reflect the viewers, the streamer said. When asked by Colin if she believes the internet in general is more male-dominated now, she said streaming certainly is. Pokey explained, quote, the streaming landscape, let's say 7 years ago, very male-dominated. It was the most even during 2020, and since then it's gone back to being more male-dominated. Whether this is because of Kai and Speed's popularity or that they've just benefited from the change, Pokimane didn't say. In the top 20 most followed streamers on Twitch, Pokimane is the only woman. In 2024...
Let's check on that, shall we? Let's see. In 2024, no female streamers. Let me see. So let me see. Top 20 most followed Twitch streamers. Okay. Let's see. Top 20 most followed Twitch streamer. Let's see. Let's take a look. So let me see. So as of February 2025, the top most female streamers are, let's see, who is this? Ninja, the most followed Twitch streamer, over 19 million followers. Ebuy, I don't know who this is. Who is Ebuy? Or Eba. Ebuy? Oh, here it is, Ebuy. Spanish internet celebrity. Okay, so that's a Spanish internet celebrity. Okay. Uron Play. Okay. Who is this? Is this another Spanish? Might be another Spanish person, maybe? Another Spanish Twitch streamer. Okay. Kaisanat. Rubius. Norwegian Spanish YouTuber. Okay, we got a Norwegian Spanish YouTuber. Let's see, the Grefig. I don't know how to say that. Is that another Spanish? It's another Spanish. It's not another one. It's another Spanish. I see more Spanish people up here than I do, you know, in my personal opinion. That's what I'm saying, you know. It's a lot of Spanish is what I'm noticing. So let's see. What about the top 40? What do we have in the top 40? Let me see. You got Pokimane at 11. Tommy In is at 15. That's interesting. Let me see. let's see. Top 40 Twitch streamers in 2024. Let me see. Let me see. Is this the top? Is this top 100 from 2024? Yeah, 2024. Got Ninja, Tfue, Rubius, Shroud, Orin Plays, Pokimane, The Griffeg, Myth, Tim the Tatman, Ebuy, Summit, XQC, Tommy Innit, Nick Merckx, Riot Games, Dream is up here, Alan, was it Cypher, Dicko, Mongrel, Booga, Dr. Lupo, Juan, Fresh, Aiden Ross, LOL Tyler, Eldid, Click, I think that's what her name, Click, Tubo, George Not Found, Montana, Amaranth, Quackity, Wilbur, Saikuno, Ben, Faker, Sim, Nobrew, and then Slakoon, apparently. So those are top 40 from, like, I guess last year, I guess. I don't know if this list is actually, you know, would be actually accurate, but who knows at the end of the day. I'm surprised, you know? I didn't say subscribers, I said followers. I said followers. Let me see. I'm trying to see followers, not subscribers. Oh wow, she's streaming right now. She has about 2.3 million followers. So also she's streaming too as well. Very interesting, actually. Wow. But yeah, I mean, she has a pretty decent following as well, you know. So, but unfortunately, VTubers don't count, apparently. So.
No female streamer was in the top 40 most watched channels on Twitch, with Iron Mouse being the highest at 44th overall. 3 female streamers, Iron Mouse, Mira, and Emiru, made the top 100 most watched channels in 2024 via Sully Gnome. However, in 2020 and 2021, only 1 female streamer made the top 100 most watched each year on Twitch. In 2020, Pokimane was 63rd most watched overall, and in 2021, Amaranth was the only woman in the top 100 at 42nd. Now, there's...
Well, because they all play video games, you know? It's a dude thing, you know? They play video games, you know, they play good, you know, and all this other shit, you know? That's what guys like, you know? That's the only thing, you know?
An obvious issue with a lot of female streamers that has been entirely ignored in this debate, and I know this is gonna...
Like, I play games. I may not be good at them, you know? I'm pretty good, but I'm not that, you know, I'm not like freaking, like, what, on the levels of, maybe Pokimane thinks Iron Mouse is a guy using a voice changer. No, I was talking about Twitch itself. I'm like nowhere near, like, what's his name or so, Shroud or so. Cause Shroud, like, I can still respect Shroud's, like, gaming, you know, gaming mechanics and everything, right? There's a lot of things I don't agree with. I don't hate the guy or anything like that, but there's a lot of things I don't agree with him specifically. But I can still respect his, like, his gaming, you know, his actual gaming, you know, thing, you know? So it's not like I'm gonna disrespect the guy if I see him or something like that, you know?
upset some people because there's a lot of people who, anytime you criticize this kind of shit, they get upset and they think that you're just being sexist, but it's just the reality. The last like 2 or 3 years on Twitch, the vast majority of major female streams that were like actually getting shown on the homepage and shit were women abusing the hot tub meta and shit.
That's
like
true.
that. So Twitch,
That's
a
true.
website where people go to watch video games and to watch like people have conversations with the audience, things like that. The entire homepage at one point was literally full of just random women who were sitting in a bikini in, you know, a hot tub or something somewhere, barely circumventing the TOS of the website, and almost all of them exclusively were promoting an OnlyFans page where some of them showed even more, and some of them, you know, they just showed their bikini shots or whatever, right? So I'm not saying all female streamers did this, because obviously there's outliers and there's women who were just playing games or whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna burst your bubble here, chat. I don't have an OnlyFans. Shocker. Oh my god, wow. I know, isn't that crazy? What? A girl in this time of day and age not having an OnlyFans? Damn, dude. That's absurd to hear, you know? Almost every single woman has an OnlyFans, you know? You expected us to think you have an OnlyFans? I literally had people came into my chat and asked me, right? These were new people. I've had a couple of people ask me, do you have an OnlyFans? So I did had people came into my chat and asked me if I had an OnlyFans. So how could you? The rules state you must. No. Thank God. We won't get bullied in public finding our mom's OnlyFans. No, I'm too old-fashioned. I'd rather, the only person who should see me naked should be my significant other, guy or girl, and that is pretty much it. No one else. Yeah, sorry. I'm pretty old-fashioned, so can I make a lot of money? Yeah, I can make a lot of money. Am I going to do it? No. I would probably do like maybe cosplay photos. I don't know where the fuck to post that, to be honest, at the end of the day. Maybe, you know? If I had an OnlyFans, it'd probably be like cosplay photos. That's about it. Because remember, right? OnlyFans is not just only like, you know, only for, you know, pornographic stuff, right? It was actually meant for a lot of different things, actually. Before it was infested with all of the whole girls showing their naked bodies and stuff like that. If you guys didn't know about that, yeah, it was before that happened. It was actually a normal website where a lot of people did like cookings and like cooking videos and like whatever other shit, you know? So what if just feet? No, I'm not showing my feet, Umler. Goes a succubus, so maybe if look hard, you can find legendary OF page of Co allegedly. I do not have an OnlyFans page. Shut the fuck up. Stop fucking throwing out fucking misinformation. Oh yeah, it was basically supposed to be more of a Patreon alternative. Yeah, it was supposed to be more of a Patreon. OnlyFans was supposed to be an only like if I would open up an OnlyFans, it would probably be just cosplay photos. That's about it. If I'm not allowed to post cosplay photos on Twitter or so, because you know VTuber life, right? They're kind of like oh, my immersion. You know, they're kind of like, you know, they kind of take that shit real serious. So I guess that's like the only way. Or maybe just Patreon if Patreon allows it though. But that's pretty much about it. So.
Ever, right? But how many of the female streamers that, you know, were making headlines over the last couple years were not abusing these metas, were not, you know, filming themselves doing this shit?
Iron Mouse. Yeah, Iron Mouse. Iron Mouse is the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
This constantly, and then she went through the whole thing where she acted like her husband or whatever was making her do it, and that's just like what kind of stigma got set towards a lot of female streamers, because the platform was literally just promoting the shit and shoving it down everybody's throats. And I think that's why she says like, oh, it felt like there was more women in the last few years and now it's becoming more male dominated, because
it's always been male dominated though.
For people who are trying to watch video games coming to Twitch and seeing softcore porn, the website started finally cracking down.
No, I don't have a Fansly. I don't even know what that is. I barely learned that just last year, whatever the fuck a Fansly is, so.
they came from with that shit. And then now, yeah, a lot more of the
Oh yeah, and also, even to this day, I still don't know what the fuck a fansly is, so.
page and whatnot is finally taken back up by people playing
True.
video games and doing shit like that, which is
Only
the way
gambling
that it
we do
should be.
here
I'm
is
sorry, but
Gamba.
that's just the reality. No one is going to
Gotcha.
Twitch for that shit.
Gotcha,
except
Gamba.
for, like, OnlyFans brained zombies who were tuning in literally just to like buy OnlyFans content and like support these women. But even through that, the viewership, in like the terms of the female viewership, has been increasing over time on Twitch to the point now where it is almost getting to like a 60-40 male to female split. It's like 65-35 male to female right now, at least during like 2019 to now. So it's just a ridiculous thing even anyway, because when you just look at everything being done, a lot of the like popular female streamers are people actually now doing talented shit, or like, for instance, there's a bunch of female VTubers who do like the animated characters and whatnot on the screen. A lot of them are pulling fucking absurd numbers, and just because like, oh, they're not in the top 40 most followed or the top 66 most watched of the year, right? These are almost meaningless metrics that don't actually describe anything. It's just always going to be full of the top streamers, and it really doesn't matter if they're male or female or not. To the average viewer, that's just an afterthought. Who really gives a shit, right? People just want to see people on Twitch playing games, having fun, and usually, you know, you can go there and find that. It really shouldn't matter either way who it is. But I just thought it was an interesting discussion anyway, because when you look at like Cenat and Speed, they're just doing something that stands out from everybody else in streaming anyway. Like, there's very few people, male or female, who could ever have the drive to create as much content at the quality that these two are actually producing content. You know, they're doing like professional grade streams with like stream houses and fucking, you know, like I said, meeting up with celebrities and whatnot. There is probably a handful of people in the entire world who could do that. And ironically enough, Pokimane is big enough, she is rich enough, she is successful enough that if she wanted to try and match what these guys are doing with their streams, she absolutely could. And yet she doesn't. She chooses not to for whatever reason, and that's fine.
True.
But ultimately, using these two anomalies as like an example to back up a point that's not really backed by any sort of data or anything, it just doesn't really make sense. And honestly, it's a conversation that just serves to divide. Like, nobody wants to sit here and hear this shit because it's such a pointless thing to like really care about. Like, as a man, I don't sit here and think like, well, I hope that more of the top 100 YouTubers are men. That represents me. Like, there's no reason to feel that way, for me at least. And so I don't understand why anyone else would feel that way. You should feel most represented by yourself and how you impact the ecosystem of content around yourself. That's the whole point, I think, of doing
personally, my
shit
content is shit though.
not sitting around wondering about.
But it's only for the
meaningless,
meantime.
silly
For the
metrics
meantime,
that just kind of
just an
plainly
investment, you know.
describe
We gotta
the reality
save,
around
you know,
as the way it's always
to the
been,
future.
in a way that just kind of seems salty and like seems more to divide than anything. So anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus talking about the gender gap in streaming and signing out.
Oh, I played it a while ago. But yeah, honestly, it just makes no sense, to be honest. I'm curious what Asmongold has to say about the whole interview itself, but like, it's just kind of like, it's a male, of course, like, they play video games. Guys play video games. I'm like, guys are gonna play, you know, are gonna go into a stream or so where someone else is playing, you know, either the same video game or can kind of relate to them, you know, at least to the dudes anyways. It's called the bro code for a reason, you know. You're gonna blow up and act like you don't know it, nobody. What are you talking about? I ain't gonna blow up for shit, to be honest. Co got tier content, got top tier content in her OF if you can find it, allegedly. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god, makeup tutorials are too female dominated. Oh, is that Sayuri? Oh, it is a Sayuri emote. I like Sayuri. She's not bad. Do you not know the meme? I don't know what meme it is, Mystic. But yeah. It's like, what do you expect? Of course it's gonna be male dominated. Even then, it's like mostly Spanish dominated is in the top 10. It's mostly Spanish people are in the top 10, surprisingly enough. But to be honest, in my personal opinion, I don't care. I don't really care if I make it to the top 10 or top 100 or top whatever, you know, or top 2000, you know. I don't really care personally. I'm just having fun with my community at the end of the day, you know. It's kind of not really a big deal. I don't really care about rankings, you know. If I actually did care about rankings, you know, I would try so hard, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm too old. I am way too old in my personal opinion, so I'm too old to care about rankings. I'm just gonna let it, you know, flow naturally, you know. If we make it to the top 100, that's cool. If we don't, it's not a big deal at the end of the day. It's not like I'm gonna be like, oh shit, man. It's not like I'm gonna get upset or anything like that, you know. It is what it is, right? But yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. Let me know what you guys think about Pokimane's comment or so about it being a male-dominated space, you know. So I'm like, it's always been like that. I don't know. It's always been like that. But yeah, because guys just play video games. That's it. But yeah, that's the end of the video. And peace.